Aristotle considered causation four-dimensionally. In terms of 1. The material cause, the stuff, the sensible aspect. 2. The formal cause, the intelligible aspect of the stuff. 3. The efficient cause, the prior agent that brought the object or state of affairs into being. And 4. The final cause, the purpose, end or function of the object or effect. Science increasingly dismisses causation. It claims that things happen according to probabilities, not according to causal actions. Real things and events are, somehow, plucked from unreal probability clouds instead of actually being caused. Consciousness is about cultural causation, not biological causation. Consciousness is acquired via education, which is cultural. Consciousness is not biological. It is our escape route from the sensible to the intelligible, from sensing to thinking. Science, to the extent that it believes in causation at all, says there is no cultural causation, only scientific causation, hence some sort of causal scientific process must have produced consciousness. Alternatively, science says that consciousness emerged not causally but probabilistically from particular collections of matter, those of brains, and all operations of consciousness are probabilistic. Free will is impossible in science, but not in culture. Free will is simply cultural, conscious choice. It's conceptual choice, not perceptual interaction with perceptual things. It's not programmed instinct. Science has no understanding of the mind, free will, the unconscious, consciousness, subjectivity, intelligibility, conceptualism. That's why science will be replaced. It's purely a theory of observable matter in spacetime, but reality is so much more than that. True reality originates in an immaterial frequency domain outside space and time, a mental singularity, the most forbidden thing of all in science because it is a synonym for God. The hiding place. Plato located the forms outside space and time. That was an inevitable choice. Where do you locate universals in order to ontologically separate them from particulars? Particulars belong to spacetime. Universals must therefore be outside spacetime. Exactly the same is true of the relationship of mind to matter, of course. Mind is associated with universals. Matter is associated with particulars. Science accepts only the existence of particulars, hence denies the reality of mind. It tries to particularize the mind by making it an aspect of the particular physical brain. It will never accept that the mind links to the brain but is not in the brain. A universal, the mind, links to a particular, the body. Universals always control particulars. Particulars are observables. Universals are not. Universals are conceptual, not perceptual. They are analytic, not synthetic. They are a priori, not a posteriori. Universals, unobservables, can be located in only one place. It is of course the exact place where the science of particulars and laws of physics break down, singularities, minds. What is a sinusoidal wave? It is something with a net value of zero that goes on forever, i.e., it is an eternal singularity. It is a zero-infinity universal, an innate unobservable, an innate concept, not a percept. Reality is literally made from singularities, which is to say from concepts, from universals. Reality is a conceptual construct, a product of thinking. It's a giant thought. Reality is all about universals being particularized, individuated, via the agents of particularization, individuation, namely space and time. You could not make a physical universe unless it were the case, which it is, that sinusoidal universals have the mathematical capacity to combine to create space and time. Without that inbuilt property, a physical world would be technically impossible. It is purely thanks to the mind-boggling properties of sinusoids that the material universe exists, and exists as it does. Science, the theory of particulars, will never grasp this. Only ontological mathematics, the science of universals, can reveal the truth. Ontological mathematics will definitely replace science because it is enormously more rational, logical, universal and explanatory. Logic. William of Ockham said that logic concerns the analysis of scientific terms while science itself is about particular things. Logic is that which treats universals and is concerned with terms, definitions and concepts, not with physical states. Science deals with physical states and is not concerned with logic and concepts. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "Thoughts are the shadows of our feelings, always darker, emptier and simpler." Actually, it's the other way around. Feelings are the shadows of our thoughts. Hegel said, "An idea is always a generalization, and generalization is a property of thinking." To generalize means to think. That's exactly right. True thinking is ultimate universalization. Ultimate universalization is ontological mathematics, and the ultimate universals are sinusoidal waves, which are basis thoughts. These produce everything. Jung said, "The faculty of discrimination is the sine qua non of all consciousness." Again, that's exactly right. Consciousness discriminates. It selects this and not that. Your consciousness doesn't decide what your thoughts are, your unconscious does. It's the production mind, while your conscious mind is your consumption mind, your editorial mind, your evaluation mind, your reflective mind. But it does decide what thoughts to pursue and what thoughts to discard, and that's what makes you what you are, with the interests you have, and with the personality you exhibit. Your personality is constructed both by what you leave out and what you keep in, what you exclude and what you include, what you dislike and what you like. The division. People, especially sensing types, imagine that some things are by their nature concrete and other things are by their nature abstract. They regard particular things as concrete and detected by the senses, while they regard universals as abstract and concerned with thinking, with reason and logic, concepts, language. They cannot comprehend that universals can be real, concrete. If scientists could accept the ontology of universals, of mathematics, they would cease to be scientists because reality would cease to be about a posteriori particulars and would instead be about a priori universals. Scientists absolutely loathe the a priori and rail against it. Kant said, "Concepts without percepts are empty, percepts without concepts are blind." Kant thought universals were abstractions, hence empty on their own, while particulars were concrete, but unintelligible. In fact, this is just a version of Cartesian substance dualism. Real and unreal things cannot go together. Concrete and abstract things cannot go together. You cannot explain the real via the unreal, or the concrete via the abstract. It's unavoidable that the intelligible is real and concrete and explains the sensible, that universals are real and explain particulars. Science rejects this because it would mean that science is inconsistent, incomplete and unintelligible and cannot make contact with true, foundational reality. Truth is beyond the sensory scientific method, but not beyond the rational and logical mathematical method. Science is a hatred of form and a love of matter. It loves content and loathes form. It loves the contained, and not the container. It's all about particulars, and dismisses universals. Yet the truth is that the universe is born of universals, and that, of course, is entirely logical. We don't live in the particular verse. The map equals thinking. The territory equals particulars. The separation of map and territory equals the separation of thinking and sensing. The fundamental problem humanity has with understanding reality is that it relies on horribly bad analogies such as, the map is not the territory. The map is seen as abstract, and the territory as concrete. Scientists believe that matter is real, it's the territory, and mathematics is unreal, it's the map. The idea that the map, the universal, is real and concrete and makes, defines and controls the particulars, the territory, is inconceivable to such people. Only in the human world can you separate map and territory. In reality itself, the syntactic map and semantic territory are necessarily bound together as two sides of the same coin. They are the information carrier, map, syntax, form, and the information carried, territory, semantics, content. You should never confuse what humans do for what reality does. Ludwig Wittgenstein said, "The problems are solved, not by giving new information, but by arranging what we have long since known." Actually, it's by rearranging everything we took to be true, and often inverting it. Physicist David Bohm said, "Our brain mathematically constructs objective reality by interpreting frequencies that are ultimately from another dimension, a deeper order of existence that is beyond both space and time." This is equivalent to saying that dimensional spacetime particulars originate in the zeroth dimension of universals.